Annie K on the right. Over to you, Annie K.
Thanks, Fred. Today on Kids Biz, we have Genevieve Bailey. We're doing a telephone interview. She is a filmmaker and director of the award-winning movie I'm 11. When I first watched it, I was fascinated by the different opinions that the 11-year-olds had. Hi, Genevieve.
Hi, Annie. How are you?
I read an interview in which you say that the idea from this movie came from wanting to see if 11 was still a good age for kids because it was for you. Did you find that this was the case?
Yeah, definitely. When I first left Australia, I'd never been overseas, and I wanted to explore my favourite age in life. And that was when I was 11, and I was curious to see if 11-year-olds around the world were having as much fun as I did, and I definitely found that to be the case, because when you're 11, you don't feel like a little kid anymore, but you're not yet a teenager.
There are lots of 11-year-olds from all around the world in this movie. How did you select the participants?
Yeah, well, very early on I decided that when I landed in a new country, the easiest way to find kids was to go through schools. But I was also actually quite conscious that teachers might select the children with the best marks or the children with acting experience, and I wanted to have much more of a random selection of kids in the film, so I decided not to go through schools. Instead, I would hit the streets, I'd go to marketplaces, talk to people in bookstores, ask friends of friends of friends in different countries, and try and find children that way. And I found such wonderful personalities through doing it in that really organic way that I decided to continue with that process. So it was quite an adventure every time I would land and how I'd actually end up finding the children.
Wow. In one case, you go to an orphanage in Kerala and interview kids there. There were obviously many more kids than just 11-year-olds. Did you select children purely by age, or was there other factors?
Yeah, it was purely by age. So I had these 3 rules for myself. The first was that they had to be 11. The second, they had to want to be involved in the film. And the third was that their parent or one of their guardians had to give permission. So when I arrived in Kerala in India, to the children's home, there was boys and girls ranging from 2 all the way up to 16. So there was 4 children who were 11. So rather than just picking one, I interviewed all of them. Then I went back the following year, and there was 2 new children who had become 11, obviously, since I was last there. So I included them as well. So there's actually 6 kids from India in the film.
My favourite interviews in the movies were the ones with Sihan and Remy. Is it Sihan? Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, Sihan in Morocco.
Yeah. Sihan, because she had such a strong bond with her family, and it was really amazing to watch them bond. And Remy, because he was so mature and insightful about life. Did you find a difference in the maturity between 11-year-olds of your generation and 11-year-olds of mine?
Yeah, I think it's tricky because when I was 11, it's hard to look back now as an adult and compare the maturity level because, of course, I was a kid at that time. So I must say that now as an adult making I'm 11, the feedback from a lot of people who have seen it has been, wow, the children are so mature. I would never have been, so thought-provoking when I was a child. But it's really hard to say because you can't go back in time and meet yourself as an 11-year-old, but you sort of can if you interview yourself when you're 11, which is why I love encouraging people who are your age to actually interview yourself or get someone to interview you so that you can capture this special time in life so that when you're older you can look back and see what you thought about the world when you were 11.
In your travels, were there any places or people that were particularly memorable? Something that really stuck in your mind?
Yeah, I think they all were because, like I mentioned, I'd never been outside of Australia, so every new city they landed in was a complete new adventure for me. And I think the children in India in particular really helped me acknowledge the position of privilege a lot of people are in around the world. I don't come from a wealthy family, but we live in a country like Australia. We have clean water, we have ability to go to school, even if you don't have a lot of money, you can still access education. And I realised through travelling around the world that a lot of people, especially girls and women, don't always have those opportunities. So I feel very happy to have grown up in a loving family and to have the friends that I have, education as well.
After I'm 11 was completed, you went back to Melbourne and set up the Darlinghurst Foundation that helps empower women and children. I believe that all the funds you raise go to helping educate children, and there are minimal administrative costs.
And that's exactly right, Annie. I set up the Darlinghurst Foundation with Henrik, who produced I'm 11 with me, because we wanted to find a way that we could help on a long-term basis, provide some support and empower the kids in India that we met, not just the 11-year-olds, but all of the children at children's homes. So we wanted to set up a way that we could have a long-term way of keeping in touch and supporting these kids, and hopefully in the future lots of other kids. And we wanted to make sure that when people get involved or make a donation or perhaps donate clothes or books or different things for the kids, that they can actually know that it really reaches them. I think there's a lot of charities in the world, and a lot of people are asking for, our money, and sometimes people might wonder, oh, when I donate, will it actually make a difference? And we wanted to set up something whereby none of us are paid. We're all volunteers, and any money that comes in actually goes to where it's needed in India. So that's something we've been working on the last few years, and our goals at the moment are to focus on education fund for the kids, because they're very bright and they love school, and when they finish school, if they want to go on to university or college, our goals at the moment are to raise money so that they can do that.
You told me that you've kept in touch with most of the kids in the film. So if you do make another sequel, which I hope you will it be about the same kids, or will you use a different age group and a different set of kids?
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you would love to see a sequel, because I definitely want to make one. And now that we've finished Time 11 and people have been watching it around the world, a lot of them ask, where are the kids now? What are they up to? How are they going? And so we'd love to make a sequel so that people can see how they're growing up. And we're about to release the film in the US, which I'm very excited about. So some of the kids that we'll be able to revisit are in the US, and are actually 20 this year. So
wow.
They're growing up and life's changing, and they're at college and following their dreams. So a sequel is definitely on the cards for I'm 11. I'm really looking forward to it. And they will be, older than 11, and I made the film over 6 years, so they're not all the same age at the same time.
Yeah.
But, I'm really excited about keeping in touch with them for the rest of my life, to be honest. I can't imagine not wanting to follow their lives for a very long time.
Thank you so much, Genevieve, for being on the show today. We really enjoyed talking to you.
No worries. It was really great to be interviewed by an 11-year-old for a change. I'm usually the one interviewing the 11-year-olds.
If you want to check out the trailer, here it is.
If I could change anything in the world, I would change... It's a hard question.
I've always said to myself that don't grow up too fast,
It really doesn't matter which religion you're from. They all have the same sort of meaning from the end.
I'm gonna be the tree for Christmas because we're like messed up financially.
പിന്നെ ഇവിടെ വന്നിട്ട് ആദ്യമായിട്ടാണ് സായിപ്പിനൊക്കെ കാണുന്നത്. People today, they say like, oh my God, are you gonna get married to Andrew? And I say, no, I'm 11. And when you're an adult, your voice changes again, then you get married to the woman you love, then you get children, like grandchildren, and then boom, it all ends.
Moi j'ai toujours rêvé qu'il n'y ait plus de frontières du tout, que le monde serait un seul pays. Je ne suis pas citoyen de la France, je suis citoyen du monde.
That's what I like, they're dancing 1 and 2.
Why?
Because they have great dancing moves and plus nice romance.
Wow, that looks good. If you want to get the movie, you can get it on iTunes. I highly recommend it. And if you like this movie as much as I did, you can contact Genevieve or check out the Couch website, thecouch.com.au, for more details. Back to you, Fred.
Thank you very much. That was fantastic. And Annie K, I can't wait for the next one. Thank you very much.